you are the new face to Hong Kong racing. Can you briefly introduce yourself in front of the camera?
So my name is Iiebenberg. I'm a South African racing photographer and marketer from Cape Town. I've been invited to Hong Kong to photograph international meeting. I've stayed here for a little bit, got to know the facilities, a little bit more about Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Jockey Club, and also just to photograph your racing, and it's been incredible.
Actually, you have lots of roles in Cape Town.
Yes.
So I know that you're one of the racing celebrity, you're the horse racing photographer, and also you're doing your digital marketing business, and you have your own fashion store online. So can you tell us about your business?
So last year I started a small digital marketing agency, really. I had worked for an advertising agency outside of racing, and I'd always been involved in racing from my family, and I decided to take a leap of faith and start my own agency because I thought as a young person I had a lot to offer the racing industry in South Africa. And so I started the business last year. I also started my photography business along with that. And I've been picked up by quite a few stud farms and training stables, publications in South Africa, because they feel that I've got a good eye.
Yeah.
And the business has gone from strength to strength. It's taken off really well. And then with my fashion business,
Yes.
I started that recently. I started that in April with a partner, Candice Bass-Robinson, who is South Africa's leading female racehorse trainer. And we felt like we had to do something else that was a little bit more fun. Because when you have a digital marketing agency or a photography agency and you're just a racehorse trainer, you need to have something to let your creative juices flow.
Yeah.
So that's why we started Creme Store.
You have mentioned about you're coming from racing background, and can you further elaborate about it?
So my racing background's it's quite lengthy. So my grandfather's brother was a jockey. His name was Frankie Serra, and he was quite a well-known jockey in South Africa. And my grandfather's brother-in-law was a jockey turned trainer, Dennis Houston. Following that, my mom became an assistant trainer, and she started as a work rider for Terence Millard, which is, you've got Tony Millard here in Hong Kong. And then from there on, my mother became an assistant trainer with Mike de Kock.
Yeah.
And then for many years she worked for Peter Kannemeyer and then Dean Kannemeyer.
Yeah.
So my mom was involved in the likes of Dynasty, Cape Town Noor, Noordhoek Flyer, Rapier, all those great horses, Power King, Eye of the Tiger. So my mom came from a really, really good racing background. She was an incredible assistant trainer. She's recently retired.
Yeah.
And then my sister, Genevieve Michelle, she was South Africa's first female jockey. To date, still the most successful female jockey in South Africa. Unfortunately, her career was cut short by injury.
Yeah.
But she's the only female jockey to win a graded race in South Africa. She won the Diadem Stakes, and she also rode in the Met.
Yeah.
And she retired in 2004
Yeah.
because unfortunately she broke her neck during track work in the morning.
Yeah.
But she recovered from that. But our family, it's a very, very long racing background, and I started in racing when I left high school.
Yeah.
I went and worked for a company called Form Bloodstock, and I worked doing admin and photo cataloguing there for Jahan Malhaba and Charles Fall, and then it all took off from there. That's where I got involved in racing.
Yeah.
And when I graduated from university, I left racing for a little bit, for about 2 years, and then I came back.
So how do you feel of your first HKIR experience in Hong Kong?
It is so nice to also see the internationals come to your racetrack and take part.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think my highlight of the weekend from an international standpoint was Glory Vase.
Yeah.
I mean, what an incredible horse. I mean, watching its track work was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I have to say I also enjoyed Beat the Clock. What an incredible win. Joe Moreira, I mean, a weekend like that, you hardly get that on such a big day. So it was incredible. The vibe, the crowd. You can't beat the roar from a crowd on such a big day like that. Really and truly, it was such a special day.
Any differences compared with the big race meeting in South Africa?
Well, our meetings aren't as big. We have, in South Africa, we have 4 feature race meetings. We have grade 1s throughout the year, but our 4 features are the L'Ormarance Queen's Plate, which is in January, which is a festival that falls over 2 days, which is a smaller day than the International Day here, but a very formal day. Where everyone wears blue and white, and it's sponsored by the Rupert. It's a beautiful day. Then we have the Sun Met, which used to be the J&B Met, which is also a big day. We have the Summer Cup, which is just passed in Iiebenberg, which is a big family day at the races, and then we have the Durban July. So I would say that this event was the closest to the Durban July on scale, and definitely quality of horse, for sure. The Durban July attracts South Africa's best horses, and this day attracts the world's best horses here. So definitely that would be the day to compare it to, would be the Durban July.
I know before you come to Hong Kong, you already know some of the jockeys who were based in Hong Kong, for example, Niall Harrison and also Gordon Venaker. So how can you build up the friendship with them?
So I've known Grant for 11 years.
Wow.
Grant has, since I was younger, I mean, I'm only 25, so since I was younger and walking around stables and doing my own thing, Grant has always been around riding work and riding as a race riding jockey, and we've always been friends. The older I've got, the closer we've become. Following that, Lyle and myself, we're of a similar age, and in the past 2 years we just actually became very close friends. And it's actually, I think we're 2 very similar people in terms of our sense of humour and our love of the game. We both love horses. He's definitely a horseman through and through. I call myself a horseman even though I don't ride. But we're very good friends. So I really enjoy Grant. I really enjoy Lyle. I know Carice as well from very far back in the day, when he was still an apprentice in South Africa. And then he's left now, but Aldo Dumea as well. We are also quite good friends.
So there's a lot of position that you can take in the racing industry. So why would you like to be horse racing photographer? What attracts you the most?
You know, when you're a horse racing photographer, I've said this before. When you take that photo, there's no, can you please do it again? Can you just go back a step?
Just 1 second.
Can you do this? Can you do that? And you never know how it's going to play out. And there is no better feeling than getting that shot, that magical shot of bringing in the action, the emotion, the sadness, the happiness. It's probably one of the best feelings. I think it's probably second to, in an interview, which I've said before, there is no better feeling than winning a race, owning a racehorse. I think capturing that moment to share with others is probably the second best feeling.
You like to shoot the horse out, the movement of the horse or the face of the jockey, or?
What, for me, it's a culmination of everything. If you can get the shot where you can get everything working in there perfectly, the horse, the jockey, the trainer leading their horse in, everything, the second horse, the third horse, you really want to get that shot. And last year, it was just when I started doing my own business, and I got a shot with 4 heads across the line, all at once. Legal Eagle won that race, and everybody said that was a career-defining moment. And I've looked at the nominations and the acceptances for the field, and I think it might be more difficult than last year. So hopefully I get that shot, if better. Any racing photographer will tell you, one day you'll make a mistake. And unfortunately for me, I had a big mistake one day. Lyle won on Eden Rock on Durban July Day this past year, and I missed it. I got the wrong horse, completely got the wrong horse, but I made up for it in the presentation. But another photographer won in Durban John Lewis told me once. He said, it's fine if you mess this one up, just don't mess the grade 1 up. So then it's okay. So, and I must say, I've had a lot of photographers help me along the way. I have to say as well, especially a big thank you to Liesl King. She's been coming to Hong Kong for 15 years now. And I say she's South Africa's premier racing photographer. And she's incredible. She's helped me so much. She's taken me under her wing. She's given me so much good advice. So she's also said, if you miss the shot, don't worry. You'll get the next one.
So one last question: if you can change one thing in the racing industry, what would it be?
Oh, if I could change one thing, I think for me as a man, and also as a gay man, I would like to see that that wasn't an issue, that being gay wasn't an issue in the industry. I do feel a lot of people are still quite old school in their approach, and it's not genuinely accepted. And then following that is to believe in our female trainers and jockeys. I do believe some female trainers have got a better eye and are more considerate and caring about their horses. And I think as a global industry, we should trust them more. They're good at what they do. I mean, I say that knowing my mother, knowing my sister, and knowing Candace, that female people in the industry are valuable. And I think we should treat them as valuable individuals and put them on a pedestal and lift them up. Because I think they do so much for the sport, especially behind the scenes as well. Somebody told me, and it's quite a funny term, but they say with every good stable, there's always a prize cow in the yard somewhere. And I always said my mom was that prize cow. She did so much for her stable. And I do think if ladies were more accepted in the industry, that would be fantastic. And then also just for people like me, that would be more accepted in the industry, and that opinions would be taken a little bit more seriously. Because racing is for everyone. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You can be a king or a queen, or you can be a punter that's punting with his last few cents. It doesn't matter who you are. This game is for everyone. So I feel that the game should just be more accepting of others.
Okay.
So that would be my closing statement.
Thank you very much, Chase.
Thank you
wish
so
you all the
much,
best
Ian.
for your business.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for having me, and
No
thank
problem.
you to Hong Kong for having me as well.
Thank you.